Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna be heading into the second game of this evening. We got Alliance versus Who Cars. We just saw an absolutely incredible, dominant performance coming through from XL, didn't we, MP?
Yeah, absolutely. I checked on the stats a little bit, and Patitech on the second map on Breeze 100% cast. That means that he has either killed, taken an assist, survived, or traded in every round, and that is huge from Patitech. I don't think I have seen 100k AST from anyone else before. Obviously, there has been, but that is just dominant from Patitech.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of putting forward the XL that we can be expecting for the rest of the split. But we're now going to be looking at Alliance versus Hukar. And let's start it off with Alliance specifically. I think this is one of those rosters that we talked about before. And there's a lot of changes that has been coming through. Cider still intact, but every other player is different.
Yeah, Alliance actually announcing this roster today, like a few hours ago.
40 minutes.
Yeah, almost switching up everyone. Nille, obviously, a familiar face from previous season. Obviously played in Tundra's roster. Now in this Alliance roster, this is full Danish roster. I think it was just built from Cider. There was Desmo as well, who was helping Cider building up this roster, and I think it was Albert and Malfoy who was actually previous teammates of Desmo. So I think there's some influence from Desmo, obviously from the coach as well, and the coach is Danish as well. So I think there's some good synergy in this roster.
Well, it's going to be the battle of the Danes as they're going up against Hukar's, another Danish roster coming through. And I think that's definitely something to be looking forward to. I don't think we had that much Danish representation here in Polaris last stage. So this is definitely something new. And I'm really excited to see what these teams can be pulling out. Hukar's, however, they also did have a little switch. They only lost one player and they replaced it with Sunshine. I really like that name, by the way. I haven't seen too much of this roster myself, but MP, you had that pleasure of casting their games during the qualifier. How is Sunshine sticking in with the rest of the team?
I mean, Sunshine looks really, really good. Playing that Sky and KO, just flexing around with those two roles, actually popping some first kills as well. Playing with that utility is huge for this roster, and I think Sunshine is looking really, really good right here. I think there was maybe an interview or something that Hukars was saying that they were playing with Sunshine maybe previously. They have a good synergy with Sunshine or something like that. So I see how he fits in this roster very well. Obviously, Jarlo, he was a good player. He was a sentinel, which kind of affects Hukar's roster because Sunshine is more of this Sky KO role player. So they take more of that chamber, as we saw on that previous match. Excel starting to take the chamber as well. So I think it's kind of good and bad there. So they had to switch up some players for different roles, but I think it has been working out for them quite well, at least to this stage. Let's see how it works out against Alliance.
Yeah, a lot of changes coming through from these rosters, and of course there's going to be a couple of feelings attached to it because, you know, you're losing previous teammates, you're bringing new ones, you have to like focus on that adaptation. But let's find out how the teams feel about this specifically. How do these players feel about the changes coming through?
My name is Mast, I'm the IGL for Hukars.
My name is Davut, I play for Hukars and I'm the duelist / intrafagger.
Our performance in Split 1 wasn't the best. We definitely learned a lot and we're gonna take that experience with us and hopefully get our revenge on all the teams.
I think we played well, but we didn't perform as good as we should have, and we lost some games we shouldn't and played closer in matches we won, like the H2 one for example. But like overall I think it went okay, but it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, so definitely things to improve on.
Well, the stuff that we changed is we changed a player on our team. We changed Yalo to Sunshine, which has helped our team a lot. It's a greater fit, and the synergy is there, and everyone just has a good time. We also improved a lot on strats, and just the fundamentals of our gameplay has changed a lot.
We tried to go back to the basics, like try stuff, like swap around roles and stuff like that, and see like if we had better fits that could like play the different roles. So like just going back to the basics and strats.
Sunshine brings like strats, he's really wise and he frags out, so he brings a lot to the table in the team. Our goals for Split 2 is just to get revenge on all the teams. Last Split was not the greatest and we're definitely here to win, but first of all we want our revenge.
I would say get to playoffs. That's my personal goal and probably also the one for the team.
The team we're looking to get revenge against is Human Tripwires. That was not fun losing to, so I'm definitely looking to get my revenge against them.
Probably Human Tripwires because we used to play with Ratsky before, so like I think that would be the one.
The players to look out on the team is just everyone. I think we all are mechanical gifted.
Everyone on the team is very mechanically gifted and very like wise, in-game wise and like game sense and stuff. Everyone has their roles and does them very well.
We're clever and we're gonna play a lot together, so just look for the team and you'll definitely see some highlights.
The story of revenge, that's what Hukars is looking after this split specifically. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for them, who knows, their first opponent is going to be Alliance. So I guess Alliance might have a couple of feelings of their own as well in terms of how they feel about these changes. And luckily, we got that interview sorted out as well, so we can hear from themselves. What are they looking forward to this time?
So my name is Mathias Seider. I'm captain on IGL for Team Alliance.
My name is Claes Søgaard. In-game name is Malfoy, and this season I will play flex support for Alliance.
So we have completely rebuilt our roster, and for this season we're gonna play with a completely Danish roster, which excites me a lot. And like the infrastructure of the team, what we have done is that me, the IGL, and Desmo are gonna be working very closely together. He's gonna have more to say than he probably did before, and yeah, we're gonna take it like one game at a time. We haven't had that much time yet to prepare for anything, but yeah, I think on the long run it could be very productive.
So what I bring to the team is definitely I bring good comms, I bring a good atmosphere, and I hope I bring a firepower. That's at least what I try to do. Especially them knowing me already, I think they know what I bring to the team, which is also why I got picked up, and I can fill a lot of roles and I can fill a lot of shoes. I definitely think I bring a lot to the team, yeah.
So I think first of all, bringing a completely Danish roster can bring a lot to the comms. I think it's just something different when you're speaking your native language. Pretty much all of the players we bring in, are not really proven. So I guess they're gonna have something to prove, right? They're gonna be working hard. They're gonna be like assessing themselves after every game. What could we do better? Like I think it's a very refreshing thing to have people that are really hungry to prove that they're good enough to play at the level we're gonna play at.
Our goals for the season is pretty much just to do damage, and like we're just like starting out as a team. We haven't played a lot, so we have no set goals, but I'd be lying if I said my goal wasn't to win, but we also gotta be realistic. So like just improving one game at a time is very important for us.
Our goals for split 2 would definitely be taking it one game at a time, improving from game to game. That's my goal for sure. We don't have any set expectation. We don't expect playoffs. We don't expect anything. We just expect we're gonna take it one game at a time, and hopefully you're gonna see a better alliance from game to game.
That is a very different approach from the alliance that we saw last split. They're looking to build this team up from the ground. They're looking to start from the ground up and push them forward. And then you have the attitude of who cars, right? They're like, we want revenge. We need it today. So definitely two different kind of goals and also two different aspirations colliding in this game here.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like how Alliance is seeing the game right now. They know that they pretty much can't aim for the best spot, for the playoff spot, at least right now. So they are taking a realistic approach, game by game, just improving, focusing more on the team, and maybe focusing even more, just staying in this regional league. I think that feels, at least from that video, that Alliance is more focusing on building up this team to be as good as they can, not focusing on maybe winning this whole thing. Obviously, like they said, they want to win for the whole thing, but they have to be realistic as well. And I think that is one of the best interviews I've seen. I think that one of the most realistic, at least, looking at the Alliance's roster.
Yeah, realistic, down to earth, and they're just taking it game by game. So they're not putting too much pressure on themselves from the start. And, we're seeing, like, for example, like Excel, they have a lot of pressure, they have a lot to prove. Who cars, they have a lot of pressure on themselves. They want to go for that revenge. And Alliance, they're taking it step by step. So let's have a look at Cider against Mast, because Cider, that one player that stayed on the roster, play some of those smokes, and then we have Max on Who Cars aside also playing the smokes. The head-to-head is going to give us a bit more of an in-depth understanding of what we can expect of this matchup going into the game.
Yeah, and one thing that I have to point out here, coming into this head-to-head as well, that this could change from Cider, this could change for Mask. I don't think it's going to change for Mask, as we saw in that promotional tournament. It's still going to play those modes, but Cider playing more of that IGL in the team could change. It could change for different agent. I think the controller is really, really good, but I think there's another controller, Kodasi. He has been playing controller on these different Danish teams, so there could be some like maybe front lane like controversy there, but I think Cider is going to be the one keeping here, and pretty even scores right there. Mask going more of those first bloods compared to Cider.
Yeah, and Enfist, to coach for Who Cars, did mention that they have been working on a lot of the things behind the scenes, and we're going to be seeing them in the game. So one of the things that I'm really curious about is the fact that so much has changed for Alliance as well. Which maps are they going to be comfortable playing? We kind of have a bit of a feeling for Who Cars. We've seen them play last time around. Sure, it didn't go as they wanted it to. They only won 1 out of the 8 games that they played, but if they've been working on it, they've been working on stuff behind the scenes, so maybe they have like this core map pool that they're comfortable playing and that they want to be bringing out. And as I want to ask you, MP, any maps you think that we can genuinely expect to be seeing?
I would say at least from the ban side, we will see Who Cars banning Ascent. If we don't, I'm totally surprised. They lost 13-1 to H2O. From Alliance's side, if they want to go to their roots, back to the old team, maybe they will go for bind. Maybe they try to get that, but it could be changed so much. Maybe they actually want to go for that Ascent, but if Who Cars bans it, it could be pretty bad. Like Alliance said, they don't have much prepped quite yet, so Ascent could be one of those best maps to go for, maybe even Breeze, and we're actually gonna see this. Oh, bind. Yeah,
bind.
Who Cars is actually gonna select this bind.
Yep, and I think we've seen Hukars on Bind before as well. It didn't really work out in their favor. They did, however, have that raise that was doing quite a lot for them specifically, but the split and ascent, again, I think in general, like looking at Hukars, looking at the way it went last season, we can't really say too much and jump to too many conclusions in terms of which maps they are going to be the best at and which maps they're going to be the most comfortable on, because we haven't really seen them comfortable or the best on any specific map. And then you kind of flip the script, you look at Alliance specifically as well, and you can talk going back to their roots, but if you have only 1 out of those 5 players remaining, you have the coach still. The question is, are the new players that you're bringing into the roster going to be just as comfortable on these maps as the previous one was?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, honestly, I think this is one of the best map draw that Alliance could have had. These 3 maps, Hukars played these 3 maps exactly against H2O, and it wasn't easy for them. The last map decider split was 13-11, so it was really, really close. And Alliance, they have 100% watched that map or match. If they haven't, that's on them. They really, I'm 99% sure that Desmo has gone and watched that map or match and seen all of the things that Hukars do on those maps, and maybe they can counter them somehow, some way, or maybe they just play their own game. That is something that different teams approach with different styles. Do they actually want to counter the other team, or do they just want to play their own game?
Yeah, I think in terms of like Alliance, of course, we even saw it in the interview you mentioned, they haven't really played together for a very long period of time. So of course, they're not going to be as comfortable with each other as the likes of Hukars. They've played together for a whole split. So they will most likely feel the most comfortable looking at how Hukars is played, counteracting that in any way, shape, or form possible. Looking at the picks coming through, I think from the side of Hukars, the thing that's standing out to me, nothing particular. Like we've seen Sunshine on the Sky, we've seen Akimbo on the Raze before. David actually on the Chamber rather than the Jet. That's something that I might not have expected, but it was kind of predictable. Anything standing out to you specifically, besides the fact that it's a mirror matchup?
Yeah, I love that it's a mirror matchup. When it's a mirror matchup, I always say that this is all about the team play, all about how you play as individuals and team, all about the synergy. It's not about the comp. You can't blame the comp. When we go to bind, usually it's all about like whether the other team has a Viper or not. Usually, most likely, I think it was 80% of the time when you have a Viper, you're gonna win bind against the team that doesn't have a Viper. But yeah, not really anything surprising. David going for that chamber. This was one of the things that when Charlo stepped down, they brought it back. Like David, for these maps that they want Raze, David is gonna go for the chamber, but for the maps that they want Jet, Akimbo is gonna go for the chamber. So they don't really have that sentinel player anymore in terms of Cypher and Killjoy, but the chamber is played more.
Yeah, Hukars gonna be starting off on the defensive side of things, and it looks like they want to head for the A side. 2 players from the side of Alliance already taking position. Util is down, whereas the rest of Alliance might be looking to push this out aggressively. It's going to be flashing along B long, and that's going to give information that there is no player pushing. And this is actually forcing them to push out aggressively from hookah.
Oh yeah, this is so good flank push. If they can avoid that chamber trap, and if Alliance can hold this side long enough, this flank could be huge, but I think they're spotted.
Yeah, the rotation already coming through from the side of Alliance, and it looks like Akimbo is absolutely ready for it. It's gonna be spotting out the Tasmanian Tiger, by the way. That is not a dog. Nade is gonna be thrown right at their face, and looks like Hukars with the plan down. Now they just have to play slowly.
Oh yeah, Misho taking that first pick. All trades going back and forth, and it's 3 versus 3. Albert just fighting those picks.
Finds one after the other and is gonna give the team more than enough opportunity to go for that defuse. Solid strat coming through from Hukars, but Alliance was absolutely ready for that. They put out the flash on B long. They figure out that there's not a single player. Snakebite goes straight into showers. Is gonna be actually delaying the rest of Hukars even further. And in the meantime, they're pushing out aggressively 3-man from hookah. And if anything, that means that they've definitely done their homework.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like a perfect pistol round right there. One of the things I forgot to point out, Alliance, they don't have hype anymore. what is Moxie gonna think about this? No hype highlight reel anymore. That's gonna feels bad. Or maybe Nille, Albert, someone maybe will pop and we get a Alliance highlight reel, but not with hype anymore. Hype.
Hype
I
is gone.
think it was signed to OG, the new LDN UTD OG roster that plays in VCT. So totally deserved that spot.
Moving up the ranks, and it's like Alliance is also, I was going to say, moving up in terms of numbers advantage, but Mishi is going to be able to equalize that trade. This time around, Alliance, although they have that weapons advantage, they're not playing this round as aggressively as they did last. They're taking it slow, they're taking their time, they're holding on to that util, and they're forcing Hookars to walk into them.
Yeah, and this is exactly how you play against Pistol, this anti-eco round. You don't want to go too aggressive. You want the enemy to they make the mistakes. You don't want to go into these pistols. The push is already coming in.
I'm gonna have to jumping out of Urka, but Kazi and Scyther, they're ready for that one. Picking up a couple of members is gonna be pushing out, but Mishu expected that one as well. And that's he's the only man left standing. Nille takes him out of misery. Round number 2 secured by Alliance. This time around, Hukar is gonna get the bye.
Yeah, Hukars going for 5 rifles right there. No need to go for light shields. Almost all utility gathered for them as well. It seems actually all utility once David actually uses those traps right there. And Hukars they are going for the bye right here. But look at Alliance. They are thinking whether they should stack on B 4 players, but they're going with 3. This could be a good stack. We've seen a lot of teams pushing up that B long with the Skyflash, and I'm so happy that Alliance doesn't do it. It never works.
Sometimes it does, but this time around, we're not even gonna get a chance to see whether or not it will work out. Spike again left all the way back. Akimbo does manage to pick off a player. This is that aggressive push that we saw coming through earlier from Alliance, and it gets shut down right away.
Absolutely. And Alliance, they have to think about what they want to do. Rotating that 3rd player to A side, Cider, back on B side, getting some information. And now that they have 4 players, they just have to gamble this defensive side. Nille gets taken out in the process.
Hukar is more than comfortable to play it to the time, but again, they have to kind of commit to one side at some point because it is ticking. Smurks are going to be put down. It's going to give them some form of safety to push onto site, but Albert and Malfoy, they're still able to hold angles, and Hukars hasn't committed as of yet, and that's a little scary because now they're going to have to push it out, and they find the first pick, they find the second. Cider, only one left standing with a Spectre. And Hukars is pulling out quite an impressively clean round as they haven't lost a single player yet.
Yeah, this looks really good for Hukars side. They know not to make any mistakes. They know not to rush into these sides. As we saw from that previous round, Alliance, they had the better weaponry. They didn't want to rush anywhere. Hukars, now the same thing. Just play default, get rid of these players, and then group up and go to side together. And that is exactly how they do it. That is exactly how it works. And Cider, good save this Spectre as well with full shields. Actually, wants to chase these players down.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be a headshot.
Akimbo takes him out. I think he actually dinked Akimbo right there, but didn't quite get the second shot right there with the Spectre. Obviously, Spectre, you have to dink twice. You have to hit the head twice to kill it. Doesn't quite get that connection.
A solid round coming through from Hukars. It's a flawless. They get to hold on to all of their weaponry. If anything, they even have shields. They're able to replenish those as well. So now we're going to be moving into that scenario where Alliance are going to have the exact same amount of weaponry, and they even have the operator.
Yeah, I love that Nille is going for it. Just dodging the flash, backing out, and getting the first mass peeking way too early, right?
And there was no flash for, like, Nille wasn't flash, was able to get out of it, dodged it, and Mass just running in straight away, gets taken out, gets punished. A little bit too greedy. If you have that information, it might not be the correct time to instantly go for it, and that's exactly what he did. Nille capitalized off of it. It's going to be able to teleport out back to safety, and now Hukar's a numbers disadvantage. They need to figure out where they want to be hitting next, because that operator is not something you want to be running into, and you don't have the smokes from Brimstone anymore.
Yeah, the chamber can rotate so fast with those rendezvous. They have no clue where the chamber is, and Nille just taking position for this sword.
Oh, connections gonna be coming through from the side of Monsieur Albert. Taken out of the equation, and that means that in terms of numbers, they were equal for just a split second, but Nille and Malfoy, not if they have a say on it. David is the last player standing, does some damage. As one player is dropped, is gonna be able to get back to safety. But he still has 3 other players to be dealing with. It doesn't seem like Alliance is going to be going for that over-rotation as they're leaving 2 members onto A.
Nille actually doesn't want to peek either. He's just waiting for this push. Doesn't want to risk anything.
10
seconds.
left.
David.
David is going to have to go for that plant. Is going to be faking it. Doesn't have time for it anymore. It's going to be able to take the operator out though. And that plant is just a little too late. Just a couple of split seconds. And Odyssey taking out that final player. And yes, the operator has been taken out of the picture, but they're going to be able to pick it up right away.
Yeah, but look at that. The economy damage is right there. Sure, all of the rifles come through, but Nille, pretty sure he has to go without shields. There was one player with half shields as well. Nille getting some cute picks, and I love the confidence of Malfoy here. 5 HP, he's swinging wide on David, and gets taken out still. That's good confidence right there. Rendezvous coming in for David. Look at Hukar's ult economy. It's so close for 4 ultimates. They want to force that orb for masked.
Yeah, that's exactly what Alliance doesn't want to give them. The Pain Shell is going to be throwing them off of it right away. David this time around expecting that aggressive push. We've seen Alliance do it a couple of times, and this is going to be Operator versus Tour de Force, Nille versus David, who's going to be the one making the first contact. And David walks away with the skin of his teeth, 30 HP left. Operator out of the picture. 1 player from the side of Alliance is down. Now this is going to open up some more pressure for Hukars, but not if Malfoy can stop it. Mish is going to be coming through with the trade, 2k of his own.
Both Seekers invested. Hukars maybe able to get more with these Seekers. Able to get both of the players. Information of both of the players, and I think this time Cider, Kodasi, they just have to save. They have to give up this round for Hukars. But given the circumstances, Alliance, I don't think they can buy a lot around these rifles on the next round. They have to just focus on trying to get something out of these rifles, and Hukars actually chasing down these players.
But I guess they don't want to give them that opportunity, that luxury of holding on to their rifles, but it's a little scary because either you're going to take theirs or they're going to take yours, and the question here is, do you want to risk it? Do you want to give them that opportunity of taking away your rifle? Misha takes out 1. Courtesy is going to be able to hold on to that operator, is going to get through that teleporter. A bit more safety. Secured, but he's right after him! Okay!
I was so sure Kodasi is able to save that operator. And yeah, that's why they are going for the save. They want to save that operator. It was so close. So close, but masked through that TP. Spams. It wasn't even David who got that kill. It was masked, spamming through that door of the TP. Wow. I don't think David would have had time right there. Alliance taking this timeout. Quite early timeout, but I like it. I like it a lot. They have good ultimates that they can use even in this next round. Even though they don't have a good buy in this next round, they most likely are going to use the rendezvous at least. And maybe they are thinking how they can set up the rendezvous to get as much as they can. If they can get that 1 pick with the rendezvous, maybe that could switch the round to Alliance. Maybe Malfoy is even gonna invest like a Spectre in this round. He has almost 4k. He could invest that Spectre and maybe invest the ultimate. That could be too risky. I think that is exactly what Alliance is discussing in this round. Going with the Seraph though.
Hookars, they even have that operator available now in David. The Tour de Force worked out in his favor last time, so there's a lot of firepower that they're putting in his hands. And Hookars definitely making this very difficult for the side of Alliance. Even the wins that Alliance has been able to secure hasn't really given them a chance to get their economy back under wraps. So they're always kind of stuck in that awkward position where it's like, we want to save, we have to save, but it's not really working out, and they're really trying to get it under control, as you can get stuck in a very vicious cycle where you save, you lose the round, you have to save again, and you don't give yourself that chance to push and snowball forward as much as you'd like to. One player already down in Hurka, and it's gonna give Hookars an opportunity to maybe even jump out and take the site by force, although some reinforcement in the form of Malfoy is being sent over.
Yeah, and it seems that they're gonna go for the side. Nille rotating out of that A-short position, doesn't get the free pick. Now Kimbo just double sassling in the side. Confidence right there, and Nille don't think he's gonna save this. He just wants to get as much as he can with the Tour de Force. 5 bullets in the chamber, in the hands of chamber. Hey. that was so bad.
What? Okay, yo, can we cut the tape right there? Grandpa jokes are being thrown here around.
Cut the tape.
Cut the tape! Nille does manage to pick out one, but that's all he's gonna be able to do, and Hookars equalizing that playing field this time around. Alliance gonna have that opportunity to buy some rifles, so this is the round that really counts. This is the round that they have to win, and if they win it, it has to be an incredibly convincing one. Otherwise, you're once again stuck in that position where not every single one of your players can buy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be really, really awkward. As you talked about, that vicious cycle could come into play. Malfoy, Kurasi, they have the ultimates. They should really use it right now, and locking down that bathroom control is Malfoy with the ultimate. But look at this really fast aggression on the backside of that. Akimbo.
Akimbo with the showstopper, removing, deleting, erasing, annihilating that Viper's Pit out of the game. The second it was put down, it's giving the team so much control of the site. All that util gone, and now Hookars have the Viper's Pit of their own. Sunshine is gonna be able to pick off side of the flash, isn't gonna be able to stop him, and Nille once again, the last man standing, holding on to that operator for dear life, is getting double peeked, but he's not aware of it, does get one. Mishu is still trying to take that operator off it. The jiggle peeks are gonna be coming through, and it's the classic who does it. They no mercy from Hookars. They said they wanted a revenge, and that's exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, I love that. Hookars, they see one player left. Right after they kill that second to last player, they know exactly that the last player is operator player. They want to go for that. They don't want to get it saved. Akimbo, just huge ultimate coming in the back of that Viper's Pit right there. That's huge. And I'm not sure if there was some utility given from the front side of Viper's Pit, forcing those players into the showstopper as well. If that was the case, that was huge. David just keeping the pace.
Starting it off the rounds every single time. Quite strong. The operators do so much work. The Seekers are going to be popped. And as Malfoy is trying to get some bathroom control, that's going to be absolutely shut down by Kimbo. Seeker is going to be spawning out Nille as well. All of these martial shots are going to give away his position, and they're already wrapping around him. It's now or never. David with the operator wants to go for it, but Cider's got the better of him. Sunshine does manage to get out the trade, but Nille once again fighting for his life, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where can he go? Looking to do some sort of damage to Sunshine, and that's exactly what he's gonna be doing. Karazi looking to come through for that reinforcement as Nille picks up the operator. Now it's on to Mast and Mishu to finish the mission.
Karazi just try and look if he can get some damage done in the economy of Hookars, but gonna meet in the bathroom. And yeah, Karazi takes out Mast. That is not what Alliance is looking for right now. They need those rounds. It doesn't matter to who cars if they lose 2 rifles here and there. They have 5 rounds on the attacking side already. They have good money in the bank. It doesn't matter if they lose a rifle. They can get that back easily. If they keep winning these rounds, this map is gonna start slipping out of Alliance's hands. Now is the time to strike.
Yeah.
And they do it.
It's operator against operator once again, and David looking very confident on having that attacking operator in his hands because it's genuinely paying off for him time and time again. And that's a Sky Flash around long that we've spoken about a couple of times. And although it's going to give out some information, Alliance isn't actually going to capitalize off it and go for that peak.
Yeah, trying to get some random shots to the smoke using the Tasmanian Tiger. Trailblazer to clear the corner sider. We have seen this so many times with the Sky, just prepping that flash in Octagon. That is so powerful. Full cars. I think they're starting to think whether they should go back to A, at least clear something out of that flank. But Alliance, they don't dare to push deeper in bathrooms or A short right now.
And there's so much space that they've already given up onto A sides without a single member of who cars being available. All they have is the Viper wall. It's up on A, and that's enough to push Alliance back very far. Seekers are going to be coming through. It's going to give away the information that it's an A hit because they're taking so much time to travel. Master looking to run in with the Stimmy. Gonna clear out some of that chamber util, and that's a showstopper being popped. Snakebite's gonna make it more difficult to go for the defuse, and Albert's actually landing the pick off on David. Chamber now no longer in the equation, and the time is ticking. They have to go now whenever the plan's gonna be going down. Mass find is first, looking to get the molly, but it's not gonna be put out yet. Sunshine going through with a second. Misha's been taken out with the nade. The molly is gonna be stopping the rest of the members of Alliance to go through Lamp. Lamp's control is fully under Hukar's banner. Operator still in hand and is gonna be giving away where Sunshine's going, as that Q from the Sky Flash is giving away his position, allowing the rest of Alliance to hone in. Karazi takes Akimbo out, and now Cider picks off Sunshine, leaving Mast as the last man standing, but Nile has never changed his position, still in heaven, strong with the operator, takes him out, and Alliance is gonna be able to secure the round.
That's crucial to Alliance. They had to strike right now, and they did exactly that. Albert delaying the spike long enough so Alliance can have some free room right there. But look at this, Mishu actually risking it all, just sticking the spike down. They needed that spike down desperately, and Mishu, well, trades his life for it, but actually gets the spike down, gets a 3 versus 3 situation for the afterplant, which is winnable for Who Cars, absolutely. Alliance, they take the ground really, really well, and they take that retake perfectly.
Blinded.
Q coming through. There's at least one player in that. Snakebite is going to be pushing Sunshine a bit further back. It's going to delay their push into Lamps into Showers a bit longer. But again, New Cars really liking this A side. Something they want to go for time and time again. The Boombot's going to give information for further away that Lamps is also being heavily contested. Smokes are being up, and Malfoy looking to do some damage is not going to quite connect. The nade's going to be forcing him out of position. The smoke's cutting off every single line of sight, and Alliance completely blind and unaware as to what position they want to go for. The Snakebite have already been used. They're not going to be delaying the plant spike this time around. But now it's a retake scenario, and it's 5-on-5.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really tough. So good positions for Who Cars, but Alliance, they're clearing so much positions.
There.
They're already losing one player. Mask coming through with the trade, however. Sunshine taking one of his own. And as the smoke drops, Akimbo and David are able to pop off, taking one apiece. Nila once again with the operator is going to be able to take out one player. Is going to have to swap to the Vandal as he's left in a 1v2 scenario. David's still alive. He's going to go for the swing, gets taken out, and Nili going for the defuse. Akimbo is going to be jumping off the lamps, not what he expected. New car securing that round. On
Beautiful.
track for that revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Who Cars giving one round to Alliance, but then taking it back. Akimbo, beautiful rotation all the way around to Bats. There was last information that Alliance had that Akimbo was in a short right here. But look at Akimbo on the map, starting to rotate around, knows exactly that he has the time to rotate around path, and there's no chance that Alliance will expect it. And that's exactly what happened to Nille.
Blinded once again. The sound key giving away some information, and that's the orbital strike coming through is gonna be forcing them out of paths, and that's exactly what happens. Snakebite making it even much more difficult. But Misha and David, you don't need to be going through bats, and yes, you're trying to stop Sunshine from getting that pressure, but it doesn't matter because you're falling down to him anyway. So much util invested to stop them from pushing through bats, but it still doesn't matter because the rest of the roster is going to get Lamp's control. They're going to get onto the site. They're going to get that plant down. Albert unchecked for, but it doesn't matter. Akimbo takes him out, and Cider, they're gonna have to back off. They're gonna go for that save.
Yeah, absolutely. That was beautifully played by Hookars. They know that they were contested in bathroom. They know that Alliance has put so many players in bathroom, so they push up short. They get that first pick, get that isolated pick in Lamps, then following up with Nille on that backside. There's so much invested onto the A side. 4 players already holding A side, and somehow Hookars are able to pick up Alliance apart right there, just playing it to a perfection. Really knowing the weaknesses that Alliance have. They know exactly that the short is gonna be weak if they put so much pressure on bathroom.
And it's Bath time and time again that Hookars has gone for really the strategy that has been paying off for them, because the investment that Alliance has to put in to just delay their push into Bath is just so incredibly huge, and then you have the rest of the players pushing towards other sides of the map, and B is just never being hit. And still, Alliance not really adapting. Sure, this time around they have one extra player going on to A, but Hookars, absolute solid performance in terms of taking that A side, putting it under their banner time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely. But now Cider. Oh no, Cider getting the first pick, but Mask is there. Mask is there
Ooh.
to retrieve the picks, and David knows exactly what is his job. Protect that plant from Malfoy. Now the Viper speed is down as well. A really hard job for Nille and Kodazi right here, especially with these guns that they're going into.
Yeah, also no way of gathering information. They don't have anyone. They don't have the Sky Dog to tell them where any of the players is, but if Mishu's gonna be stepping out of the Viper pit, might have an opportunity. Doesn't matter though, because David still is gonna be coming through with a trade, and that's the orbital strike coming through. Just a little flashy dashy at the end of the round to finish it off as we're switching sides.
Yeah, and this is pretty much going like Hookars statistically is playing Bind. They usually win more attacking side rounds than they win defending side rounds, so 8 rounds looks really good for Hookars. Defending is usually the easier part for most of the teams in Bind, at least what I've seen. And I think Hookars leading with 8 rounds is gonna be looking really, really good for them.
Yeah, they're securing that lead going into another half of this map, and they've looked absolutely unstoppable so far. Alliance haven't really found the tools in their toolkit to be dealing with the way that Hookars is playing this. I'm expecting a bit more of an aggressive play to be coming through from Hookars, and there it goes. Snakebite already thrown out. So stop the push on to B long, as the sound cue from the sky is giving it away, and this time, you know, MP, you spoke about that, how you don't like when teams do it, but it's working out for Hookars. Nate is going to be forcing David out of the position, and Albert does manage to take him out, but he's already taken out one of his own. Sunshine doing so much with that Frenzy and Sky.
Oof.
Beautiful round coming through.
Just cleaning it up. There's no chance for Alliance right there. Yeah, prepping the Sky Flash in Octagon, that is I think one of the best plays. If you push too deep in long, that could be crucial. That could be really, really bad. But right there, how Hookars played it, I think that is exactly how you want to play this long position. I think even a fake flash coming in as well. Sunshine just popping off. And I see why they picked this player into the roster.
It's slotting in really well with the rest of the team, the rest of the synergy. They seem to all be on the same page, and you can definitely tell that they've had quite a lot in terms of working together as a team, getting used to each other, figuring out how they want to play this, and maybe that was a little too close for comfort, but it does mean that Albert gets to dash away to safety. However, Maso and Akimbo don't have that same luxury, as Malfoy and Cider are completely on their case, and Hukar's already down 2 members.
And this is really not the thing that they are looking for. 2 Spectres in the hand of Alliance as well. They're starting to group up towards that B side. And this is a gamble Hukars is gonna take. They are gonna gamble this B side. They're faster there. They're gonna be already waiting for this Alliance roster, and this could be the thing that is gonna save them the round. And Alliance just chilling, making their way towards that B side, towards that hook.
Ooh, first contact is gonna be coming through, is not gonna quite connect. Mishu, however, is unchecked for, finds one, Sunshine finds the other, and now David and Sunshine have quite a lot of things to do. The rest of the members from Alliance are low though, never mind, put it down, Albert. Bunny hopping towards a side. They do have more than enough time to go for that plant. He's looking to get himself in an advantageous position because all he has is 15 HP. The spike plant is going to be put down, and the question is, are they going to be checking the corner? Yes, Sunshine is! He is dotting the I's and crossing the T's, making sure that nothing goes unchecked. That could have been so good for Alliance, but it didn't work out for them. The Fuse is going to be coming through, and another win on the board for Hukars, and that's a 10-4 lead on Alliance. They're in double digits.
Yeah, and the gamble paid off for Hukars. They are reading Alliance perfectly. They are reading it so well. Even though they lose 2 players at the beginning, just rotating all 3, rest of 3 players onto that B side, reading Alliance's attack completely is so crucial for Hukars. And I just think this is exactly what Hukars has been doing the whole map. They react, and they react well. They read these players, they read Alliance like a complete book. They know exactly what Alliance is doing.
Yeah, it's definitely Hukars' map this time around. David is, however, going to be able to give back to safety. That was a little too close for comfort. A couple of missed shots, and Mass once as well stuck in a bit of an unfortunate scenario. 2 HP left. The Viper Snake Bite's going to come out. It's going to delay some of that push onto B for a little, but there's no one there.
Yeah, that guiding light, that could allow them to rotate more players to A, but they plan to stay on that B side. Attack starting from on A side. Can advantage on Alliance.
Nate's gonna clear out some of these corners, and Alliance, for the fact that they have a way better buy coming into this, they're still playing this incredibly cautious. They're giving Hukars so much respect, popping the Seekers even.
Yeah, and Albert just cleaning that CT position. It is important for Alliance to just get these rounds. It doesn't matter what the cost is. If they have to lose Seekers, they have to play a little bit slower. It doesn't matter, Alliance. Right now, all they need is these rounds. Sure, this could have been cheaper round as well, but when you don't have the best confidence coming into these rounds, when Hukars is leading by so much, you have to invest a little bit more than you would maybe necessarily have if you were leading 10-5, but now you're down 10-5.
Yeah, it's a flawless round from Alliance. That's their strongest round so far, but it did cost them quite a lot. They had to invest the Seekers. There was Cider's ultimate coming out, and they get to hold on to all of their rifles. A worse buy that round, a way worse buy coming through from Hukars. They still have 5 rounds to go if Alliance want to close the gap. But this time around, Sunshine has the Seekers available. Every single one of the team have an upgraded rifle. Nade versus Nade is going to do a little bit of damage to both of these players. They're going to back off to safety, and this is this Bath's control that we've been talking about time and time again that Hukars really values.
Yeah, absolutely. Now grouping up all the way to A sword, but that bat control could be so crucial, and David getting the first pick is really good. Keeping all the way back to B side, opening up Alliance A side a little bit more.
It's gonna take Albert out of the equation. The nades are not gonna be able to clean those very tight angles anymore that are very prominent in Bind, and Malfoy gets a little too cocky. He's gonna get taken out, and as Sunshine wants to go for the flash, he gets taken out well, but David is ready for that one. He saw it coming miles away. Not one of the players that you can catch lacking. He's been doing so incredibly much this time around. He's gonna be able to close out the round. It was too close for comfort. Cider picking up even more players than we thought was possible. And that is a beautiful ace secured by Hugh Cars.
Yeah, the first pick already so good for David. So important to shut down Albert before he gets to the site. Sure, the Cider almost getting this round back. 5 bullets in the chamber, 1 versus 2 situation, and actually gets the second player. Doesn't quite connect all the way to David, and David just cleans the round up with an ace. Tour de Force coming into the next round, and this is actually important for Hull Cars. This Tour de Force coming into the next round allows them to have 1 more right hook.
Yeah, it also is gonna give them that opportunity to even get onto match point if they feel like that's, you know, what they want to do at this point. It really does seem like it's more Who Cars' map than Alliance's one specifically. In 11 to 5, mistakes cannot be made from the side of Alliance. They have to play this out incredibly well. The flash is going to come out. It's going to even allow Sunshine to get back to safety. The snake bite's going to push off and hold off anyone who decides to go on to be long. And once again, Who Cars, they seem to be in the driving seat.
Yeah, it looks like they're really playing this really well. Guiding Light is back online for Sunshine. Doesn't wanna aggro with that. Alliance so ready for this contact play. So ready to get into the ace or B side rather. There's only 2 players defending, but it's Sunshine and Misha.
They're gonna be trying to get onto side. 40 seconds on the clock. They do have to decide whether or not this is where they want to go. And as he wants to put out the satchel, Sunshine has found the correct positioning. Even find Malfoy's forehead. Finds Codizy as well. And now Nile with the Tour de Force and Cider with the plant going down. They're gonna have to play this out. 7 bullets gonna have to go for their reload, but they have 3 players from the side of Who Cars that they need to be dealing with. They have to plant down. They have that opportunity to go into those post-plant positions. It looks like double swing is going to be coming. It is not going to quite connect. As Cider takes out 1. The guiding light's going to come through. Seekers are going to be popped. It's going to make that so much more difficult for them to clear it, and that's exactly what they needed.
Wow, they played it to perfection. I thought Who Cars Akimbo just satcheling from that CT is a really good play. Cider maybe getting distracted by that and following the race, but look at this. Cider actually committing to the CT position, committing to holding the CT position is huge for him because it allows him to get that pick, get that freedom on the backside, and Nille actually covering for him as well from that other angle is so good for Alliance. And you can see a little bit of that synergy, of that cohesion that Alliance has. They need that so much more.
It really is now or never for them, but Who Cars are pushing out so aggressively. 1 player already punished, and David is going to be taken down, but Mast is going to be able to get the trade come through, even upgrade if he feels like it, but gonna have to be careful. Don't want to get too greedy, go for that upgrade on the Vandal and then get caught. So instead decides to play it rather carefully. It's gonna hold on a corner, has that classic in hand, and when you're on that worst buy, you don't want to give Alliance too much of an advantage.
Yeah, and even this classic on Masked in A short is causing some trouble for Alliance. Look at this, they have to clear every corner. They have no clue where Mask could be.
Ooh. They know where Sunshine is though. Oh, the trigger discipline coming through is gonna find the pick, is even gonna get that upgrade. It's now a 2v2. All he needs is 1 pick for that ultimate, that orbital strike. If that can come online, that would be incredibly huge. The Stopper, however, is online from the side of Albert, and that's exactly what he's going to be pulling out to try and scare off some of these players. But that's all Alliance needed. They win the round 7-11 and they're closing in the gap. Just like the grocery store.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite ones. There's good, so good color zones, at least in Sweden.
We don't even have it in the UK, so I'm really jealous.
Oh, we don't have 7-Elevens in Finland either, but in Sweden, yeah, they have those. So
Time to
good
move to
color
Sweden,
zones.
guys.
Yeah, if you're ever there, just get the color zones. They're so good, at least in my opinion. But yeah, Alliance is secure in that round. I love how they're not afraid of using this ultimate, even though it's against like a rifle and a shorty right there. Most likely Alliance is gonna win that, but they still use the showstopper just to secure the round.
Round secured. Gap being close. They still have a couple of rounds to go if they want to, but this is getting closer than we saw initially. Starting this out, Alliance looked all over the place, and as the game goes on, it feels like they're getting more and more comfortable with how they want this to go, how they want to play this, and Hookars, they need to step up a little if they want to close this out as strongly as they started it. Orbital Strike is gonna get some space, and Akimbo and Mass take one apiece. Odyssey's gonna be able to get the trade through, but he's also getting shot at nearly with the operator. Finds a player, and David's still holding that angle from heaven. Mass getting shot at quite a bit of util thrown, and that's a snake bite. That's the beauty of Viper. You want to plant? Not today, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at this. That trap might allow some rotations to come through already, and they are actually pushing the backside. Look at this, David and Mishu.
Orbital Strike is gonna make that so much more difficult. You gotta have to do some happy feet and shoot at the same time. And unfortunately, that's virtually impossible to do. Wish is gonna be putting Hookars on match point.
Yeah, 7-12 Hookars. They might be able to take this first map rather. Obviously, this was a pick of Hookars. They kinda need to win this map to advance to the second map of Alliance pick. It could be really bad for Hookars going into Ascent. It's not their favorite map. Now look at this aggression.
The aggression is gonna be paying off, and healing's gonna be coming through, but it's another nade coming your way. You have to run. Living with just a little HP, Albert is gonna be coming out, but the healing from Saya is gonna be patching him up right away. And that is not curable with the Sky Heal. Neither is that one. No Sage on the server, so there's no res available. Two players already down from the side of Hookars, getting a little too aggressive, too overzealous, and being punished for it. Snakebite, it's gonna hold him off for just a little longer. Seekers coming through from Sunshine are gonna be spotting out the rest of the players. Vanille is taking Mishu down, and now David and Sunshine are left to clean up. They have 3 players that they need to deal with. The spike, it hasn't even gotten onto site yet. And they're playing this so patiently.
Cider and Courtesy just holding the corner, waiting for some mistakes to be done from Hookars' side. But they are holding as well as
30
Sunshine.
seconds left.
Kind of peeking the right direction. Is he gonna get the first pick on Nille?
Taken out.
That's exactly what he's gonna be doing. Now, it's equalized in terms of numbers. They have the spike down, so they have some time to be playing with Sunshine. Although gets a contact and Courtesy doesn't actually connect, and now David does know where one player is. Still gonna have to figure out where Cider is. Position is gonna be revealed with that flash. To be able to set up a teleport. This is virtually impossible to do. As Alliance has that crossfire set up. Gets one, but is not going to be able to teleport out. And that is a win for Alliance as they secure another round.
That is so beautiful crossfire set up right there. That is exactly how you want to do it. 2 different places to attack so far away from each other. At 2 versus 1, that is textbook 2 versus 1. Akimbo causing some pain. The Hookars, or Alliance rather, but Alliance still able to come back. 8-12. 4 rounds needed for Alliance. Is it too much?
Ooh.
Nila says no.
Nile wants to push for those 4 rounds, wants to take the win away from Alliance, and one of the teams that, you know, said that they're not expecting too much out of themselves, and Hukar's really giving them a difficult time. The 2 players have already dropped. Mishu does find one's gonna be able to upgrade to the Vandal, giving him just a bit much more firepower, but it's not enough. Codacy is gonna be shutting that down before it starts. Now it's just David, the only one caught in a very difficult position. Once again, Alliance walk away with the win. They only lose 1 member, so they should have enough to be able to help that teammate out.
Yeah, absolutely. Alliance kind of speeding up that round, going really, really fast in A short, just trying to rush into the side, just trying to get that side control. They know that Hukars, they were on a lower buy. It's kind of risky going into the site that fast against the lower buy, but for Alliance it worked. They went together, they got those duels. Nile opening up the site allows them to actually get that freedom on the side. And Hukars, this is a really good timeout. It could have been done earlier already, but this is a really good timeout. You still have 3 rounds to play with. You are on the match point and you just want to tip it over, just over the edge. And sometimes timeout is all you need. Maybe going, asking from Fist, asking like, what should we do? What is Alliance doing? What is not working for us? That is like the questions that Hukars is asking right now. They are thinking where they should focus most of their firepower, most of their utility. And it seems like A is the struggle part for Hukars right now.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. They haven't been able to close it out just yet. And why exactly is that the case? What is Alliance doing that Hukars can't be dealing with? And Hukars, in terms of their rotations, they aren't, like, Alliance is speeding it up too quickly, and for Hukars to be able to catch up. So they have those initial positions quite correctly. They know where they want to start it off, but then Hukars played their attacking routes much slower than Alliance is doing, and they're currently struggling to catch up to their speed, as by the time the rotations are coming through, they've already lost a couple of members on site.
Yeah, and Alliance right now just switching up the tempo. Back to a default round. This is exactly how you should do. Just don't go every round like fast round default. This allows Alliance some breathing room. Look at that. If they went to A side instantly, there was 3 players. Now there's only 2.
Yeah.
With this default, they're able to gather some information, able to get the rotation all the way to B side. Sure, Albert or Kimbo rather already rotating back to this A side.
Orbital Strike will be cleaning out some space, and it's gonna force David to go all the way back to B. This time around, the snake bite's gonna delay Albert a little longer, and so is Mishu's Crosshair. Gonna have a little bit of HP, he's gonna go out, but Codacy already has control off of Lem, gets spotted out, doesn't actually find a pick. Cider does dirt, and so do Mishu and Mass as more players are dropping. Viper's Pit is online. But the spike is taken. Hukars has it secured. It's in the bag. If Nile and Malfoy want this to work, they need a miracle, and the time is ticking. Malfoy's Viper Pit is offline. 4 seconds left, and that's not enough. Mast finishing off Nile, and Hukars take the first map win against Alliance.
Well, Hukars, they started to struggle a little bit at the towards end of that match. They looked so good on the attacking side. They had so good reactive plays, but they also played proactive as well. They gave that pressure to Alliance, but Alliance started getting these rounds back, started pushing it closer and closer. And there was one round that I want to look in particular. It was round 11. After these highlights, we're gonna see we're gonna see the round 11. It was so clean. But look at this, Nile popping off, Mishu as well. That was a so good individual plays as well.
Yeah, Hukars really stepping up to the plate this time around, and we said it before, we haven't really seen them secure a win just yet. We saw it once, it was against H2O back in stage 1, and now this time they came out absolutely swinging. a lot of the things that we saw last stage, particularly with Hookars, was that if they lose one member early on in the round, they would kind of be very confused in terms of where they want to go next, what they want to do next, how they want to play it. A lot of their strategies, a lot of their individual play was very uncoordinated. This time, however, is the complete opposite. You lose a member, it's okay. We know where we want to go. They wanna push lamps, that's fine. I'll put out my snake bite. I'll stop it off a little. Oh, you wanna be flashing B long? Give me a second, let me put my snake bite down, let me put my smoke down. It's gonna give you that safety you're gonna be able to go for. You're not gonna get picked off. And that's really something that I am very, very impressed in terms of the fact that that Hookars has just been able to adapt over these last couple of weeks, and they've definitely shown it this game.
Yeah, and I think one of the best parts for Hookars is that they only changed one player. They still have that 4-player core. And look at this one player that they changed, just popping off. Getting that MVP for the Hookars side, getting those 19 kills. And they were saying that Sunshine brings some stats on the, or strats rather, on Hookars' side as well. Yeah. And I think there's some stability that he brings as well. I feel like Hookars, they're more cohesive, more... I think the calls that are coming in, they're more faster. Even though I don't think Sunshine is the IGL right there, but still it looks so good with the addition of Sunshine. Sure, they have had time to crack as well, which is obviously one of the hugest part, but Hookars, they just look so much better right now than they looked back in the previous season.
Yeah, and Alliance, you know, they have strong individual performances, but you can really tell from the way that they're playing, they haven't gelled together just as much as they maybe should have or could have. But again, that's one of those things that only time can tell, and only time can give you that opportunity to do so. So as we're going to be heading into more games, more matches, more weeks, we're going to be seeing what Alliance is truly capable of. And I think so far they've shown quite a lot as a roster. There is a lot of potential. There is some glimpses of that synergy that we can be expecting more of in the future. But unfortunately for them this time around, it really wasn't enough. Bind is going to be taken by Hookars. They get that win, and I want to say it is an incredibly well-deserved win. They played that so well, and I think David specifically masked as well. Mishu, Sunshine, you literally cannot leave a single player out and say that they didn't play well, because every single one of them did incredible that game, specifically on that map. They knew what their roles were, they knew what was expected of them, they knew how they wanted to carry it out, and they knew when to carry out what. And that is just so great to see from a roster that unfortunately we haven't really seen much of last time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go to round 11. I think this was one of the perfect like examples how they play as a reactive team. Look at this bathroom aggression that Alliance puts into Hookars. 3 players, orbital strike, instantly pushing A short. They know exactly that there's so many players are in bathroom, which opens up this A short. Mishu gets that first pick, David getting Nille, and look at this pinch coming in as well. Sunshine getting Malfoy, Albert getting picked eventually there as well. And I think this is exactly the summary of how Hookars played. They played so well as a team, and the reactive plays, reacting how Alliance is playing and reacting it to perfectly. That was so good. 4 players on that A side. It should never happen that Hookars takes it so easily, but somehow the side is opened with ease.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having played together for such a long time. Alliance, a new roster, getting used to each other. They're doing quite well for a new roster, and I'm really looking forward to see next game what they're going to be able to do, as we're going to be heading to Split. But before that, we got a short break. everybody, and welcome back to map 2 of the second game of the day. We got Alliance versus Who Cars, and Who Cars just showed us exactly how much they care about revenge on that first map on Bind. They didn't. No, I had to do it. I had to do it. And at one point during the broadcast, someone had to make that joke, but they came out swinging. They kind of lost that momentum. We see that tactical timeout come through, and they're bringing it right back. They close it out. Now we're going to be heading into Split. How are we feeling about Split, MP?
No, but who masked? Okay, sorry. I stole that from you. I stole that from you.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Inside. I cut the camera.
I'm sorry. I mean, you took Who Cars, so I stole that from you. You can still use it.
Who masked?
But yeah, going in the Split, I think it's gonna be an interesting map. I still think Who Cars might have a slight advantage